Hello there, welcome to my orchard videos and MOV Mower Talk, brought to you by me. Today in front of you we have a flail mower that's particularly designed for vineyard use. In vineyards you're going to be mowing up your vine trimmings, vine prunings, grass, any other kind of brush you have around your vineyard. Now, vineyards have variable widths depending on when your vineyard was planted and who planted it. It may vary between 8 to 6 feet in the driving row, and also depending if your rows are straight, they may have a bit of a wobble. They may be rows may be kind of like this down the row, depending, because you know how trees and vines grow, they never grow the same rate, right? They get bigger, they get smaller, right? So you need a mower that you can take down these rows that's narrow. Now some guys choose to weed spray, some guys choose to run their mowers down these rows, and there's various different applications of mowers that work with vineyard. So I would particularly suggest using a mower like this you see in front of you, which has a side shift on it. 6 foot, I'd say, be your most versatile mower for a vineyard, because the side shift you can move it to either direction you want. Mind you, if your vineyard is 8 foot spacing, then you obviously want to go to a wider mower. So these mowers come with many different hammers on them, and we'll get into that in another video. But most of the hammers used on these are the scoop style hammer, which is the most versatile hammer, and you can mow grass, you can mow brush with it, no problem. So most of these mowers have skids on the bottom. You can see here, there's skids on this one here. So I would suggest, if you're going to be buying these machines, make sure you get the skid option to put on the bottom, these skis on the bottom, because you don't want to wear out the body. Some guys have this without the skids and they wear out the bottom on their mower, which is not good. So get the skis with it. It's well worth your money and time. And when they wear out, you either rebuild them or you throw them away and buy new ones. Easy peasy. And these mowers are very durable. They're belt driven. Under this cover here, the belt, and they're gear driven here. There's usually a slip clutch on your PTO shaft, so you don't have to worry about that. This one here can be mounted on the front or the rear of your tractor, depending on your application. I know New Holland, Fendt, and other brands have front PTOs with 3-point hitch set up on the front or the back. One word of caution: if your vineyard is slopey, the slope on your either up and down or sideways on the side, going either horizontal and vertical. Vineyards depend on your steepness, right? You want to use, if you have the mower on the front of your tractor, have a counterweight on the back, and vice versa. The mower on the back, counterweight on the front, because these are very heavy. They're going to range anywhere from 2,500 pounds right to almost 4,000 pounds, depending on your application. They're built really heavy duty, and they take a beating, and these keep on going. Not saying all flail mowers are the same. You're going to find some brands flail mowers, like take for instance Votex, which I'm very familiar with. Perfect, I'm familiar with. I've used them both. There's Woodmax, there's Woods, there's Land Pride. There's very many different makes of flail mowers, but some may be more heavy duty than others. Rears makes one too, which is ultra heavy duty, and it is heavy. So It's heavy. So those are things you have to consider, and make sure your tractor can handle those weights. So the flail mower can handle a lot of horsepower. These things are built tough, and I wouldn't suggest using, depending on your application, what you're doing. I mean, for vineyard use, I mean, I'd say you know, tractor. It kind of depends what you're aiming for, right? If you have a big vineyard that you have 100, you know, between, I don't know, between 20 and 100 acres, maybe 300 acres, you want to get something that's between over 50 horsepower, I would say. So that being said, this mower will take the horsepower, no problem. It's designed for it. So these mowers here, you can run them. You can run 150 horsepower tractors through this mower, no problem. So, but make sure you check with your dealer to make sure exactly how much horsepower, PTO horsepower, the mower can take. You don't want to buy something that's underrated, because you'll blow it apart. I've seen them. I've seen the gearboxes blown apart by running things super fast. Basically, you want to run the mowers over 2,000 RPM. Optimal torque on these mowers, you want to run them between 2,000 and 2,500 RPM. I'd say that most tractors max out about 2,500, maybe a bit more. So these are all things you have to consider. So anyways, that's all to say about the flail mower for vineyard use. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments below, and below the video here, or after the video, we'll have stills.